I'm unsure. Double check if it's a last minute substitute, last minute sub in, or if this is something they were aware of before. Obviously, having to borrow a player from another team, I believe, does incur or would normally incur a penalty. However, I think this seems to have been prepared ahead of time. Meanwhile, the draft has gotten away with us, and we've got some spicy picks here. We've got the Kennen top into the Ornn, which is always an interesting matchup, and the Maokai support for Trev. What do you think of this, Blaze?
I love it. These are two entirely different team comps. Like the comp of CFFC just wants to get in and just do as much damage and engage as much as they can. But the team fighting of the Aura squad right there, with the Maokai ult, the Kennen ult, the Victor ult, there's so much AoE. This game needs to sort of going 5k in the advantage of CFFC by about 15 minutes. Otherwise, they're going to have a bad time, I think.
5k by 15 bold statements there for CFFC, obviously needing to find the advantage. However, their comp 100% does support it. If we see some kind of invade technology coming out from both people,
I say shenanigans afoot.
We might be seeing, but the ward spots them out on the red side. That's absolutely huge here for the side of CFFC, wanting to be careful here. So they're aware of where they are. They can look for the engage perhaps when they know that players have left, or when they know they can get an angle, but it's really just a waiting game. Looks like they might not even want to go for the fight at all.
To be fair, some of the level 1 damage that Aura can put out is pretty strong, but this is the time to go.
Absolutely, Apache in no man's land here. Going to look to try and get the recall.
Oh, is he going to get out?
Doesn't look like anyone's going to catch him. Oh.
Stealth Apache.
Step back over the ward. Duke of Jamming turning straight back around Apache. Up a creek without a paddle.
He
has to flash over the wall. Disastrous for his lane early. I feel like now that has just put a big red target on his head for this Xin Zhao with some early ganks.
Oh, for sure. Kennen not having any real escape tools apart from his lightning storm move, that he's going to have to hope that Xin just does not sit his ass top and give that on the edge early. If he gets some magic resist behind him, Kennen's just going to sit there doing nothing to him for the most part.
Oh, absolutely. Could be a scary advantage coming through. Wibbly Deep, however, looking to be pathing away. Sees that Kane has gone for some interesting pathing there. The invade straight into the blue side. However, the FFC have caught it out. They've spotted it on a ward, and the blue buff has not gone down. A bit of wasted time here for Christian Simeone. However, not going to be disastrous. Kill's not going to be picked up. So we've seen some really interesting jungle pathing today. We've seen some really aggressive stuff from Gwyn Queso last game, netting his team a kill, and we've seen some attempts there by Christian Simeone to get himself an early game advantage. Do you think that with these potential invades, that he's going to be able to get the edge over Wibbly Deep, or is Xin Zhao just too much?
I'm not entirely sure Kane's going to be able to fight the Xin Zhao early, to be honest with you. I think he's going to ideally probably try and stay to his side and just try and get as many ganks to just rush that transformation.
Absolutely. And off-world Aquarium, they're going to be just looking to, sit back and scale. You can feel confident in your ability, once Kane's online, once we got a couple items on Christian, then we can look to go. Duke of Jamming, speaking of looking to go, roots Trev, however, beautifully blocks the hook to try and save his ADC. Wibbly Deem looking forward here. Trev going to be going down first blood over to Granny Span. A huge plays in the bot lane for Ceiling Fan Club.
Oh, that's not exactly what he wanted. He should have probably just saved his flash and just took the death, because he was basically on under 100 HP by the time he even flashed. It would have probably been better for him to have kept hold of that in case a secondary gank comes through shortly as he gets back to lane.
Absolutely. Multiple flashes there now burned for the side of off-roll Aquarium. Means that it's going to be even easier for this Xin Zhao to keep pathing in. If we look to talk about the game at large, though, one of the interesting choices I think here, we've seen it more and more, is that Wibbly Deem with the lethal tempo on the Xin Zhao. What do you think of that over something like that?
I think it might actually be sort of really helpful for their style. They're can fight.
Cizo Blanco getting caught out in the top lane, has to burn flash, but the W comes down. That stacks and a kill for Cizo Blanco. However, Wibbly Deem answering back instantly in the bot lane. They know that Trev has no flash. The hook goes down onto him. The root goes up, and the knock up from Xin Zhao is going to seal the deal with this kill onto Trev. 0 for 2 in the bot lane, managing to trade back that kill in the top lane.
This is exactly what I was saying about him wasting that flash on his last death. If he had held on to it, he would have probably been able to get out to safety there, because he had a little bit more time. They need to try and hold on to them for this early part, because again, this is where CFC can run away with it. They've got all the tools for the early game.
The gold lead only sitting at 300 right now in favor of Seeing Fan Club, so perhaps not too bad of an advantage. However, these picks here, especially on the Trev, are going to be getting Xin Zhao so strong. And when that man gets some items under his belt, when he's able to get the ball rolling, it feels like the snowball of that champion is unstoppable. So we'll see if he can manage to execute through it. But I want to hand it back to you, Blaze. Now seeing this bot lane matchup with Kai'Sa getting ahead so early, when it feels like Jhin really has the power to poke and engage on her, is this bot lane now just sort of finished? Are we done here? Does Jhin not have any playroom, or is there still room to come back in this game?
I think he's okay. He's still got his flash and his heal, and I don't think Kai'Sa's going to be able to reply too early without having an item or two behind her, to be honest with you. Unless she can get that single out Q damage, I don't think she's going to still quite have enough, even with a successful Nautilus hook.
And something worth mentioning here is we are seeing the AD Kai'Sa here, which has been becoming increasingly unpopular as we've seen the rise of the AP build, you know, with those absolutely massive W chunks, which everyone on Reddit's crying about. So interesting to see Granny Spanner go AD here. What do you think about that build?
I personally prefer the AD Kai'Sa, but I always have. I just think it offers a little bit more like standard stacking damage, so you can just keep the damage more consistent. But it's probably for the best in his comp, because obviously got the heavy AP from Judgy in the mid.
Trev finds himself getting caught in the bot lane again. Wibbly Deem going to be the one taking the name. Christian Simeone going down low. However, Wibbly Deem is traded black hole mid, able to pick up the kill here. The ultimate going down onto Duke of Jamming. Bekla going to be picking up that kill too. A 2-for-1 trade in the bot lane for the side of off-roll Aquarium. Finally managing to get some footing back in this game. However, Judgy Rocks on the bot side calls out Christian Simeone's greediness. The ignite goes down, but the Moonfall does not. Misses there. Judgy Rocks making a rough misplay with that ultimate, leading to him losing the kill.
That was a beautiful roam from the Victor there. He was straight on it, and he didn't have Diana chasing him. He was basically free to come down and turn that fight in the favor for Aura.
Absolutely. Now, does that change the game state at all?
I think it does. I think the fact that this Victor is roaming more than the Diana and actually keeping some of that pressure off bot lane, where they seem to be focusing their efforts this game on that bot lane, it's probably good to have eased it up a little bit for the Jhin, so he can sort of try and get some kills and some farm behind him. And he's 101 now. He can still potentially bring back the potentially rough start.
Absolutely, and I really love this call by Off-Roll Aquarium here. They know there's no Moonfall on Diana, so they're going to look for the engage here, Trev, as the camera pans us up to the top lane. Elm Apache getting hit down by Wibbly Dean. Massive damage coming through from the Xin Zhao with the Iron Spike Whip. However, the ultimate is going to get him out safely. Christian Simeone here to pick it back up in the top lane. Manages to get the kill. The flash comes out from Wibbly Dean, but it's going to lead to nothing. That is disastrous for the side of Seeing Fan Club, as more damage is coming through. Christian Simeone with Conqueror stacked up. The Ornn looking to turn back, but does not find the knockup, does not find the kill. Beautifully played there by the side of Off-Roll Aquarium.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. Elm Apache played that so well. He lured him back, made sure to use the ult so he was safe while he waited for Simeone to come back up, and just made the most of it. Just absolutely made the most of it for just a free kill there, basically.
Absolutely, and these stacks are going to be coming in hot now, because that's 2 melee targets that they've smacked about a hell of a lot. So with 1 kill, 3 assists in this early game, we could be seeing a very early form come online. And like we say, we're expecting that red form, and the Iron Spike Whip seems to indicate that as well, but we'll see what decision he goes for. Maybe he does flip the script on this game, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
So now, having seen that, obviously we mentioned how impactful this Xin Zhao is mid, but do you think this Kayn could look to turn around the game?
Oh, 100%. Like, as I was saying at the start, this game is probably going to be dictated by the jungler, and whichever jungler really gets their lanes online first. And Simeone's done fantastic, really, considering he should have had the weaker start over the Xin Zhao. He's actually led some very strong ganks for his team, and, you know, got the ball rolling for top lane and even mid as well, so...
Absolutely, being able to have such jungle pressure when you are in, you know, that much of a negative matchup earlier is quite a serious testament to Christian Simeone's ability, not just on jungle, but on the champion as a whole, as the curtain call comes out onto Judgy Rock, forcing the flash out. Damage does not manage to get chased up, but Q4 by Christian Simeone, managing to pop the ultimate to avoid the burst. The moonfall not going to hit onto him. Massive damage back, knockback from Trev there coming through. The ultimate is going to rail across the enemy team. Duke of Jamming going to be going down as well. 2-0 for Upper Aquarium, and they're looking for more. They pick up Wibbly Deem on the back half, and Kai's is going to go down too. 4-0, plus most likely a Drake there for the Aquarium.
Oh, Wibbly's got to be fuming at that. He accidentally just walked into that last Maokai branch at the last millisecond there. He would have probably been out if not, but oh, that is unfortunate. This is exactly the opposite of what CFFC needed, really. They had this strong early game pressure they could really win the lanes with, and it's just not going their way right now.
Exactly, they didn't quite manage to pick it up as we see the game slowly returning to the lull state. But look at those shutdowns though. The bounty system in League doing its bit to try and make sure that CFFC still have a shout in this game. Those kills there, I feel like, have to be so huge. I mean, obviously Kane's still farming up, but I feel like he has to have form by now, right? After those fights go that long, we see the Crown of the Shattered Queen come through so early on the Victor as well. He's also got his upgraded E from all those kills that he's been picking up. It's absolutely massive here for the side of Upper Aquarium.
For sure. Black Hole has been playing this perfectly. He's always been exactly where he needs to be. It looks like they might try for a dive on El Mapache here, but I don't think you want to be diving a Kennen.
Diving a Kennen, always a dangerous decision. That slicing of Maelstrom going to be absolutely instrumental in keeping him alive here. He doesn't have an early stopwatch, he doesn't have anything along those lines. The minions get called in. The damage going to go over, but it might just not be enough. Manages to get himself out, but Christian Simeone is here on the back half. And there we go. That's 1 kill for 1 there, traded back in the top lane. Really, again, just ideal for the side of Upper Aquarium here. They managed to pick up the kills with no issues at all, only trading the 1 back. And now this Kane, red form already. We're looking at 11-minute Kane. Absolutely massive on the board.
Yeah, that's huge. He's online already. He's just going to be able to be wherever he needs to be and just constantly just outputting CC and damage all across the map. Judgy can't do any damage to the Victor anymore either. So this is starting to snowball very unfortunately for CFFC right now.
Absolutely here. Wibbly Deem looking to go in, but Christian Simeone's here on the back half, finds himself going down, traded back immediately. The current call looking to slow Judgy Rocks down because Christian Simeone can get yet another on the board. He is unleashed on the map.
This is exactly what I was saying about that Victor. If he got ahead, he could just literally lure people into the point where he could just throw that gate under himself when he's got the Shattered Queen crown. All he needs to do is put that shield under himself as that Xin Zhao engaged there, and he just got locked down. He physically couldn't outdamage the Shattered Queen's crown and just ended up just being stunned and just being another free pick.
Absolutely. This the presence of the Victor and the ability for that champion to get out of control the second he gets a couple kills under his belt. As we see the Dredge shot going down underneath, that's gonna hit Bekla up, slow him down, but he manages to trade back the kill. First, Bekla walking out of here. Duke of Jamming maybe not able to even pick up this kill. That's got to be frustrating. Solo health. The root comes through from Bekla. Beautifully survived there. 3-0-6 in this bot lane, and that is a 2-0 trade. Ciso Blanco also finding himself possibly caught out here. The knockup from Christian Simeone lands over. He manages to get the W back, but it does not look like it's going to be enough damage. Ciso Blanco going down in the top lane as well. This is cross-map domination from off-roll Aquarium.
Yeah, this is the thing. They don't even have like a resource they can truly funnel into, like a lane that's properly ahead where it's going to be worth trying to sort of say funnel it into the ADC or the mid lane, because even both those lanes are behind right now. This is looking really difficult for CFFC to bring back at this point, and it's only 13 minutes in.
Oh, absolutely a disadvantageous game to say the least. Looking at a 5+ gold lead, getting further extended by this Herald going down in the top lane, breaking first tower open for the Aquarium. Some plates are going to be traded back on the bot lane, but it's just not going to be enough. Massive advantage here in the bot lane.
Oh, of course. So when I was sort of saying about the 5k gold lead that CFFC needed at this point, as sort of on the other hand, it's not going to be advantageous for them at all. They're going to really struggle with their comp to find things from behind, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you saw there the engage onto the support just really lends nothing. The jungler that was so ahead in the early game now finds himself unable to deal any damage to that Tabai's Maokai in the bot lane. It's always something that you hate to see when a damage carry or a damaging champion who's meant to be able to, really chunk these players out is not able to do something even in a more extended trade, they're going to have to back off there. And really the question now becomes, can Off-Roll Aquarium execute on this lead? Because with the composition they've got, the wombo combo that they have, can they just get the Drakes, get the Barons, and execute this game cleanly? Or are we going to see a bit more of a UNL style game? Are we going to see a bit more craziness? Because I mean, 14 kills for one side in the first 14 minutes, 1 a minute, is always something you'd love to see. But not if you're on the losing team, that is. But
definitely
regardless
not.
of that fact, are they going to be able to clean this, keep this lead clean, and will take the game in that way, or do we reckon it's going to be a bit of a smorgasbord? What do you think, Blaze?
I think as long as they just stay grouped like this and just force these objectives, look, I mean, the second the dragon comes up, they're on it and just taking it in a heartbeat. This is all they need to do, because no one in their right mind on CFFC is going to walk towards a fed team fight comp like that. It's just not going to be possible. They're going to have to either go for some sneaky steals, or they're just going to have to let them go and try and find something elsewhere. They haven't really got any other options.
Oh, absolutely. Christian Simeone dealing even more damage here onto the bot lane, onto Judgy Rocks. He's not going to be able to get a recall anytime soon. Chased between his two towers. Now, Cesar Blanco is free hitting this tower in the top lane, and with the objective bounties, that is going to be the first one claimed for the side of Ceiling. And Fan Club putting them back into this game a little bit with that gold, but still, what's that, 6k gold lead at this point for Off-Roll Aquarium? Absolutely massive on the board. 3 shutdowns, though. And I think that's something that's really worth remembering here, is if we do see Off-Roll Aquarium overextend and misplay their lead, these are big shutdowns that are going to be instantly going onto the enemy team. And I feel like outside of maybe the Ornn and the Nautilus, you're happy with it going onto any of your damage characters. All of them can do really well with itemization. As the Curtain Call going to come down here, not likely going to net a kill, as we could be seeing a fight here in the bot lane. 4 grouped up and pushing in, but they're just going to look to not pull it. It's so hard to find an angle for CFFC.
It's a real shame, because if they had an angle there with the 5v3 bot, if they could have found something there, that would have been their chance to have got some money on the Diana, got some money on the Kai'Sa. But the fact they couldn't find anything there, that's just unfortunate. That's what they need to be looking for, really, is those bits where it's like 5v3 and they can try and take those shutdowns and put them on one of their carries and get some momentum back.
Absolutely. Do you feel like that's an issue of mis-execution on the side of Ceiling Fan Club, or have Off-Roll Academy just been positioning so well this game?
I genuinely think Aura are playing they're playing so bloody well this game. There's no doubt about that. Their roams have been consistent. All the players have been farming well and just trading really well. And every time they've sort of been in the situation where CFFC could have done what their team was meant to do, which was, you know, find a target and lock them down, they've just, most of the time, apart from a few incidents with the Maokai early, they've got out of it safely, you know?
Exactly. Wibbly Deem trying to get something over the wall here, but it does just feel so doomed. And it also feels like it's at the point where the trigger can just be pulled at any time by Off-Roll Aquarium. The Kenanar, the Maokai, they come down, they rail across the enemy team, and there's just not much that can be done in response. However, Wibbly Deem might have something to say about they are going across the Cold Forge God. However, the slicing Maelstrom going to be absolutely massive damage going across the enemy team. The Victor Ult finally coming down, dealing so much damage to the side of Stealing Fan Club, and they're not going to be alive for long. 2 for 0 trade there. Christian Simeone, Burning Flash, Judgy Rock going to manage to get off of the blast code. 2 for 0. Massive trade. Ults burned. However, no objectives on the map. So Off-Roll Aquarium, they know they can win these fights now. They've tested it. It's tried and true. The Curtain Call comes down. Not a second's rest as Christian Simeone looking to go in on this mid again. Judgy Rock's gonna go down. Called out for his almost overextension in mid. However, I really don't know how much you can think ahead about that Curtain Call being instantly pulled out on you. One thing I want to mention here is how Bekla's just really been using the Curtain Call so well. You know, when you're filling in that utility ADC role, because, you know, there's already so much damage coming from the Kayn, the Victor, the Ken, and, you know, obviously Jhin will still be dealing an absolute huge amount of damage, but his Curtain Calls have been so consistent every single time, managing to pick up kills, assists, or even just change the flow of the game. I feel that's really huge.
Oh, definitely. I think that's the important thing, that all the people in Aura this game have just been doing what they're meant to be doing. Like, they're using their ults correctly, they're being in the right place, and it's just a very clean game from them. They've very rarely misstepped, and that's huge. Like, with that sort of comp they're pulling off, all they need to do is just play cleanly and, again, group up like this, and there's nothing they can do now. They've pulled such a good lead. It's going to be really difficult for CFFC now to find a place to re-engage against an Aura that are just playing this well.
Exactly, and it does feel like when you fall behind to one of these scaling team fight comps, sometimes that death ball strategy that they're going to pull out, the simple, you know, a ram, a rat, a rab, go into the bot lane, go into the mid lane, go into the top lane, just be one cohesive group. It feels like that. It's so hard to do anything about that because any kind of engage. We saw there the Cold of Forge got called up from the end of the team. Although I might have to take a stance here. A slicing maelstrom does come out. The stopwatch going to be popped by Elm Apache and tend to survive this gang. So much damage going back. Wibbly team having to flash out. Flashes the Cold of Forge god. Damage goes down onto Orin. That is a 3 versus 1 dive survival there by Elm Apache. Takes 2 down, does not go down himself, and now there is a Rift Herald in the base of Ceiling Fan Club. This is a destructive performance from off-roll Aquarium.
That was unbelievably clean from that Kennen there. And again, this is what I mean. Like, this is all they needed to do, and I think this might be it. I don't see CFFC being able to even defend this now. The Aura Club are just a brick wall, and they're just the brick walls attacking them.
Huge amounts of damage coming across the whole EMA team. People responding for the side of Ceiling Fan Club, but it doesn't look like it's enough. The damage goes across there now. 3 alive to the 5 of off-roll Aquarium, and they are going to take a dominant statement win over Ceiling Fan Club, saying, we do not care, you are a top team. We do not care how many games we have played. We are going to show a destructive performance of you and cement ourselves as one of the leading contenders for the UNL title. Blaze,